Hey everybody, it's Monday. Sorry about the pillows in the background. Delilah pushed that into view right before I started recording, didn't you, Delilah? Yes. And she's a cutie, so she can do whatever she wants, right, Delilah? Mwah. Right, okay. So, that's what we're talking about. I thought I'd start with a cat, because it was a weird weekend in gaming news. I mean, it was a weird weekend overall in the news, but it's a weird weekend every weekend in the news lately. But the gaming news was especially weird this week with like porn on Ninja's channel and a bunch of other very strange things, a potential of Death Stranding coming to PC, which is kind of a cool rumor. We'll find out. But two stories kind of jumped out at me. One, I spent all last week being critical of media outlets that implied that games were at all contributed to, or just flat out said that games contributed to any sort of violence in any way. So I want to give a shout out to USA Today, of all outlets. USA Today, which is sort of seen as like this stodgy middle America magazine, right? But USA Today came right out, published an opinion piece by Greg Topo, more on who he is in a bit, but right out there, don't blame video games for El Paso, Dayton shootings. Leaders like Trump must face facts. And the article goes on to say, I'll link to it in the description box below if you want to read it. But the article basically goes on to say that this is all ridiculous, like just chock-a-block with facts, points out that 2/3 of adults play video games, 75% of Americans say they have at least one gamer in their household, and that if video games caused violence, it wouldn't make sense that the U.S. gun death rate, I believe, watch me get this wrong, but the U.S. firearms death rate. The U.S. firearms death rate. That's the statistic I'm looking at here. Don't believe me. Here we go. See, the U.S. firearms death rate is nearly 25 times higher than the average of the other four countries that are the most, the top five countries in the world for per capita video game spending. Those are Japan, Korea, the United Kingdom, and Australia. 25 times higher than the average of the other four countries, U.S. So it's not video games. That doesn't make any sense. So shout out to Greg Topo, who is, like I said, I'd give his credentials, because I tend to look up who's writing these pieces now. Because I'm working on a theory that the more someone actually knows, the more educated a person actually has, the less likely they're going to go and spout wild theories about what games do and don't do. And sure enough, Greg Topo is the former national education writer for USA Today. He's the president of the board of the Education Writers Association, and his most recent book is The Game Believes in You, How Digital Play Can Make Our Kids Smarter. And I kind of went, whoa, wait, because all of a sudden USA Today is showing me pictures of like women in bikinis. No, check it out. Like, this would never be allowed in a modern video game, but it's right on USA Today. Like, whoa, this is too spicy for like, what is going on? Anyway, that's just how silly things have become in video games. But the other piece of news I wanted to touch on today, because this is good news. It's good news, but I'm suspicious. Here we go. This story that, let's get all these, why are there like these gigantic ads in everything now? It's like they have to smack you in the face with stuff. PC Gamer, please don't do ads like this. Well, USA Today was just as bad. But now it's women's clothing, so it's like it won't be bikinis. But this story is the one I'm talking about. Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, and others agree to start sharing loot box odds. And what that means is that they are implementing full disclosure on drop rates. So all the big console companies, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, are going to require all games with paid loot boxes to disclose the drop rates in clear, understandable fashion in order to be carried on their platforms. Which means everybody who wants to be played on console has got to disclose the drop rates of their video games. Now, this is in part due to pressure. This is very much in part due to potential legislative action. But I'm always suspicious about this stuff because usually when entire industries take action on these things, usually when they do this, it means they've run the numbers and they're not going to lose much from it. So knowing the odds of a drop or lack of odds of a drop doesn't necessarily mean a person, especially a young person, is going to have the impulse control to not buy that loot box. I just personally think that the element of chance in loot boxes, for me, is the opposite to why I play a game. And I admit, I find it really annoying, these loot boxes. I tried to play games with loot boxes. There was like a DC superheroes game I tried. I put some money into it. And the amount of junk that it just puked out, it didn't feel like gaming to me. Like, if I enjoyed that kind of gaming experience, I'd go to the casino. There felt like there was really no skill involved in the game. You just churned along until you got lucky and it dropped a cool card and then you were better at the game. And that to me is the opposite of what a lot of people play games for, which is life isn't fair, but gaming is. You know, a lot of things in life are left up to chance or highly subjective opinions that tend not to go in the favor of introverts. Whereas gaming's not like that. If you practice, if you get better, then you win the game or you advance in the game. And that's the whole purpose of playing games. It makes you feel like fairness is still an actual concept that some people believe in. And loot boxes are just this thing. Like, if somebody wants to buy a cosmetic item, and that cosmetic item is like $1.99, right? I don't have a problem with that. You know, the League of Legends skins, all the alternative skins, some of them are really freaking cool. $1.99, fine. You want to spend that? Even some, more expensive ones. You know what you're getting and you know what the price is. And what I don't understand is since these monetization models work, these cosmetic monetization models, since these work, why isn't that more widespread? Why are loot boxes the go-to thing? Because I know I don't use them. I specifically have all my online accounts, so I have to manually approve every purchase. I have to re-enter a password and all that stuff. And what that does is it slows me down. So if I think, screw it, just buy it. No, I get a chance to think and wise up. And that's what makes it so strange to me that kids are running up their parents' credit cards anyway. But some parents aren't terribly tech savvy and things happen. I just don't think loot boxes provide a good environment to anybody. I think you should be able... What happened to the days where you could just earn in-game currency and go in and buy the item you want? Why is everything suddenly up to random chance? This stuff drives me crazy. So that's where I'm left today. Like I said, it was a weird week. And it's probably going to continue to be weird until we get into September because people just... All the strange stuff happens in August. It's a combination of the heat and the fact that we're in this lull of gaming news until holiday. And this is an especially weird one because holiday is kind of weak this year, which is very strange for this time in a console cycle. And this time in a console cycle, you usually get all these great end-of-cycle exclusives because the install base is maximized. But that didn't happen this time. It's odd. Anyway, Twitch tomorrow, we're going to be continuing a sanitarium. And you know what I'm going to do now? Help support this channel. Become a monthly patron. Patreon.com/LeannaK. Going to keep it short today because I know I'm tired after getting too much sun all weekend. I'm sure you guys are. So we're going to keep it short today. We'll get into more meat as the week goes on. And if you watch Twitch many Tuesdays, I do ask, what do you want me to talk about Wednesdays? So that's another reason to watch the Twitch channel. Okay? Okay. Thanks for watching.